All right, drop a sound effect.
Welcome to the Survivor Buffs.
You guys are daydreaming, or going on a night drive, or maybe drifting off into space.
Oh. Come on, dude. You need to stop playing sound effects.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
Anyway, that's why we're running a little
In a
late.
silly, goofy mood.
Yes. All right. This is actually. I was trying to think. Have we ever done this? Have we ever gone live right after? I feel like we've done it once, like season 41, right?
We've definitely done it a few times, but
Yeah.
I don't
Normally we do day after recaps. But we decided to do it before just because of some availability stuff. But we're joined today by one, the only Coach Drew.
Coach Drew.
How y'all doing?
Yeah.
Poggers, dude.
Nice. Drew, what's your drink of choice today?
We've got a pre-mixed like Jack Daniel's lemonade type thing.
Well, cheers.
Cheers.
Get in. Cheers with what is it? OJ.
Air.
There.
I just like to have the illusion that I'm drinking during the podcast.
Did someone say air?
Stop it.
All right. Today we're recapping episode 11 of Survivor 43, in which who went home? That's right, Sammy went home. Which means there is the chance of me winning our fantasy draft has gone from less than 1 to less than 2. Drew, I don't know if you saw our teams at all. I started off strong, and then Gideon just swept the floor. And then coming into last episode, the only way for me to win, I have 3 people left, is that has to be the final 3. And to be fair, Gideon has had 2 in a row. So he had Noel and Sammy. So unless Cody, Gabler, and Cassidy are voted off in any order, I will. If that happens, I win. And if I win, it would be by only 1 point. So pretty down to the wire. But those are our fantasy teams. Whose team has the winner, Drew?
Adam. Mainly because I'm firmly on the Jesse's winning, right? Like,
right.
That's what we're thinking now. It's either Jesse or Cass, so I guess Gideon could potentially. But I'm definitely thinking more Jesse, just based off of strength of schedule, as in how he's done up to this point. But things could change. Cass has had a lot of momentum in the last few weeks.
You think so? Really?
Momentum.
Interesting.
In the way that Mount Everest has momentum moving across Earth's tectonic plates.
I don't know. That momentum. So momentum more. I feel like she's winning more airtime. I feel like they're showing more of her strategizing. Her name's coming up as people to potentially vote out, and I feel like we weren't really getting much of that beforehand. So not necessarily momentum is like this person has to go. Just more of we're getting a lot more of her as the season progresses.
This is who you think's gonna win?
No. I think that Jesse's going to win, but I just think that Cass has a good chance.
This is who you think has a chance?
I would not be surprised if she won the game.
I think
the only person
the person
going to win. Gabler's
other
the
than
only
Sammy.
person that there's no way he's going to win. There's no way Gabler wins. But besides that,
I think Gabler is also not going to win, but I do think that he might have a slight edge to Owen.
I think he has an edge over Cassidy.
No!
Yes!
Gabler is not going to win!
What has Cassidy done?
Hold on.
What has Cassidy done?
Anyone brought up Gabler as someone to vote out? I think it was the episode that he won immunity.
That's what he wants. That's what he has planned.
It's not because of. I think it's not.
I like Gabler.
People just want to take Gabler to the end so they can beat him. I don't think anyone actually thinks they're going to lose to him. And you know what? If he does win, shame on me. But
Well, I don't think he's gonna win. I'm just saying.
I don't think he's gonna. He's not my favorite to win either. I just said he has more of a chance than Owen or Cassidy. That's what I said last episode.
Oh, okay.
Owen or Cassidy have the least amount of chance to win, other than Sammy. We gave Sammy the least chance to win, which we were right.
Let's say they pull a Kagi on and make it a final 2 out of nowhere, and somehow it's Gabler and Owen.
Owen wins. Owen wins.
Really?
After this episode, Owen has more of a shot, I think, especially because I think he could articulate himself better. Personally, I think Gabler's played the better game up to this point, but I think Owen would have the better final tribal council.
What about
Adam comment?
I'm nuts, man.
I feel like Gabler beats Owen. I just think Owen
Wow.
Owen, no winner has ever been on the wrong side of the numbers as much as Owen has if he would win, and by far too. Whereas Gabler has not only been on the right side of the numbers pretty much every vote, you could argue that he led the first merge vote.
The Ellie vote does not, stop. The Ellie vote happened so long ago, and she's not even on the jury. That doesn't matter.
But it's still more than Owen can say.
I don't remember
and he's never had
playing a worse game in the final 7 than Owen in recent memory. I really can't think of
no
one.
votes cast against Gabler the whole season.
Oh boy. I'm sorry that came off very condescending, and it was. But I've never really put a lot of stock. I do put some stock into it, but I've never put a lot of stock into. This person's never gotten any votes, and it's like, well, that could mean 2 things. It could mean they have really good relationships that, will get them to the end. True. It could also mean no one gives a shit and are just going to say, oh, yeah, Gabler's also there. I don't know how these people are thinking, but...
Right.
What's worse, never being on the right side of the numbers or never getting any votes and just being kind of a dead fish?
I feel like being on the wrong side of the numbers is worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I think Gabler beats Owen.
Who said the articulation thing? I think it was
me. It's me. If Gabler can articulate himself, he wins. That's why I said he's played the better game. Yeah, if it goes how it's been going so far, yes, Owen beats him.
I'm sitting here at the end because of the
sheer
truth.
articulation. That's what I said. That's what I said last episode. It's like Owen has the story. He's like, I was never on the right side of the numbers. He pulls off this Mike, what's his name, comeback from
Holloway.
Yeah, from that season. He's like, well, I made stupid moves, but immunities and just sheer underdog story. That's the only way. In a final 3, he wins.
Gabler's not winning.
No, he's not.
He's not winning.
He's not. I'm his number 1
Owen's
stand, but he's not winning. Yeah.
Owen's also not winning. It's probably, if it's not Jesse, I think
it's Carla or Cody.
I think Cody has a better chance than Carla.
No.
You said last episode Cody beats Jesse, Adam. I want to bring that up with Drew here.
I think if Cody makes it to the end with Jesse, and then who cares who's in third. I think for the viewers, it's going to clear cut Jesse is the better player. But for the people on the islands, I could see a world where Cody gets more votes. I mean, he's a salesman. He's a great talker. Jesse, sometimes he can come off a little bit like
awkward.
Yeah. And sometimes Jesse will have a great plan instead of planting the seeds of his plan. He'll kind of just tell people how to vote. And it's worked for him this far. Whereas Cody's a lot more laid back. I think they're both likable, but I think Cody's just a little more likable. I could see, I maybe could see on the islands Cody getting more votes than Jesse if he has a better tribal council.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like I said, I think of the final 6, 5 of them have a chance to win. I think that Gabler's the only one that does not actually have a chance to win. Having said that, I do see where you're coming from with the salesman thing, and I do feel like he is the more laid back. But I also feel like Carla is also is very laid back as well. Yeah. I feel like she comes off as very just, hey, I'm chill with whatever, but everyone knows that she's playing the game. People don't think that she's just sitting there. They know she's playing, and it's working. So for her and Jesse, and I enjoyed watching them strategize with each other this week. It's like, all right, these are I feel like I'm getting the same vibe from these two. It's not a race
Right.
thing. And I feel like if the two of them sat at the end against anyone else except for Gabler, I feel bad for one of the two of them because they're going to split a vote at some point, and the other person's going to win,
Right.
in my opinion.
And I asked this
I
to
think-
Gideon last week. If
Yeah.
the final three is Cody, Jesse, Carla, is that the best all newbie season final three that we've ever had?
If Carla makes a move, yes. That's what I'll say. Carla has to do something
I thought
other
her
than be
move
a
was going to
social
be
threat.
a Marianne thing where she just tells everyone she has the idol, but as we saw tonight, she already told somebody that she had the idol, so
Well, also, didn't like two people say last episode that they're pretty sure Carla has it?
Yeah. Jesse
she
said
hadn't
we know
told him.
Carla's been collecting beads, but I don't think he's told her that he knows.
yeah, she hadn't said anything until, I mean, she could have said it earlier, but we found out tonight that she had told Cass that she had.
I will say, let's not forget that Jesse is the only person in the game that has an idol that nobody knows about, which obviously has a lot of weight, as we've seen last season. That keeping a secret
Right.
that big is a huge. It's a move in itself. The lack of move is a move in itself because you not playing the idol is also preventing somebody else from playing it. So it's even though he hasn't done anything with it, not doing something is doing something. If that makes sense, then maybe that.
No,
makes
that
sense.
makes sense.
Let me tell you, I think he'll use one of them. I think he'll use one of the idols.
He should.
I mean, at this point, he can idol his way to fire, right?
Yes.
Yes.
He would
If he burns Cody, which
it seems like
seems like it's going in that direction. Yeah. Unless
Um,
Cody at the beginning of next episode's like, "Hey man, can I get my idol back?" You know. But
I will say the next time on, for like the last 2 or 3 episodes, they've really made it seem like there was going to be some big epic clash, whereas all the votes kind of weren't. Kind of what's the opposite of a blindside? Kind of easy votes in a way the last
Easy
couple
vote, yeah.
episodes. So similarly with that trend, it seems like next episode is but I will say this is the first time and the next time on that it seems like Jesse and Cody could potentially clash. And I feel like that is the thing that's been missing from this post merge is the two heads of the of the post merge season just have really been on the same page, which we just don't see in modern day Survivor.
So do you see Sammy getting idled out?
Sammy?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Do you see Sammy getting idled out next week? Not Sammy. Oh, sorry. Not Sammy.
Cody
Cody.
Oh,
could.
if Cody gets idled out due to move by Jesse, unless Jesse loses fire,
He wins. Yeah,
Game over. Yeah.
game over.
absolutely.
And not
Because
only
Cody
game
will
over-
still vote for Jesse. He'll be like, "Well played, man."
Oh, yeah.
You know, but
yeah, Shaka.
yeah, LIVIN, man. That's what I do.
So Drew, do you have like well, first of all, like Drew, because it's first time on this season, do you kind of have like an overall thought or opinion on like the season as a whole up until this point?
Yeah, I think that pre-merge, it was very up and down for me. It was very up and down. There were some episodes where it's like, okay, yeah, I can get into it. There were some episodes it's like, all right, okay, yeah, this is kind of filler. I like the way that they did the faux merge this time. I guess Ellie and Lindsay were my winner picks, and you saw that win. Funny enough, Emily's winner pick is Cass, so we'll see how that goes.
Like preseason winner pick?
Yeah,
or-
preseason winner pick. We're in a fantasy league together, and she picked her from the jump. Now that the merges hit, it did kind of meander for a bit, and it was starting to annoy me online, like everyone kind of shitting on the season because there was nothing wrong with it. It was just kind of almost old school, and I doing 42 and 42, I have a reinvigorated love of the old school type game, but I can see how it might bore people. I think that from what boot? Who was right before Noel? I think from the James boot till now, so just a few weeks. we've gotten even though it's been very cookie cutter, like we know, okay, yeah, a lot of the votes are on that one person. It's still been compelling television. I was really invested in tonight's episode, even though it was unanimous Sammy going home.
I think tonight was the best post-merge episode.
I agree.
I would say
so.
This and the James boot for me. I know that was a double. That was a double that episode, but the James boot and this boot were my two favorite, episodes overall. Yeah. And then especially with this one, they actually had me. I actually thought that Shot in the Dark was actually going to work this time. I was fully like, I can't believe it's going to happen. Like,
I was like, oh my gosh, it finally happened. No.
Finally happened.
What are we, like 0 for 9 or something now?
0 for 4?
Yeah.
Zach, Sydney.
Maybe over 3. What was her name from 42? 42
Mariah.
from Mariah.
So now, 0 for 4. I don't think anybody else, because nobody uses this season.
Just Sammy.
Except for Sammy.
Not only has no one used it, I feel like it hasn't even been like mentioned till like, I know last episode someone like briefly mentioned it, but it's like,
let me tell you, Sammy might have gave them a slap in their face, playing that, because that could have gone very badly for them.
What's interesting is if Sammy would have, because here, let me pull up.
Swati, so 0 for 5.
Okay. If Sammy would have won, that would have left Jesse, Cass, and Gabler. But in theory, Carla could have played her idol for Cass, and Jesse could have played both idols. So tonight's episode may have been the first time in Survivor history that there was an opportunity for literally no one to be able to go home. I don't think that's ever happened before.
Because everyone would have been safe.
Literally everybody would have been safe, which
yeah.
Nuts.
Well, I mean, they made history anyway this episode, so they were probably just hoping that.
Kill me. That was so stupid.
What?
That was so dumb. The unprecedented. You beat the tide. Okay, Jeff, make them hold their breath underwater as a tiebreaker.
Yeah, I was gonna ask what would you guys think, because I was pretty upset. I was even because I've been complaining about the challenges really for the last 3 years. I kind of got it for the first 2 seasons because there were the 2 COVID seasons, and I knew that they couldn't build new challenges. But I was like, okay, 43, 44, let's see some new stuff. Kind of just been the same old stuff, or they'll take an old challenge and they'll just like add a ball rolling or something and be like, oh, it's brand new. There's some challenges though that just stand the test of time, like this one, where it just seems like it's always going to be fun. I feel like this challenge would be so cool. Like if I was telling Gideon before the episode, before we this podcast started, I thought it'd be cool if they went all the way, because I know when they did this on Australian Survivor in the one where David won the challenge in the season where who won? Pia, that season, spoilers. They went hours, like 4 hours until sunset, and that was like really, really cool. I feel like it'd be cool to see this challenge go like
Australians
super late.
Just built different, man. They got like 50 days to work with.
They get fed a lot more though, so like they have water bottles like at all times that are like filled. They have more energy and carbs in them to do more epic challenges. I think U.S. Survivor is still holding on to that, like, we want our players like depleted thing that's always been there.
Jeff even says that he was like, oh yeah, this comes from a time where like we tried to kill our players, and and we brought it back, and then 2.5 hours in, it's like, psych, we don't really want you to die, so you both win.
And I get this.
It could have been a hypothermia thing if it went into the night. Like it could have been like the water's cold. Yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. Is like it could have turned into other factors than the tide, which would have been funny to see.
Well, and the sun. I mean, based off what we're looking at, it looked like the sun was still pretty good for a few more hours. It didn't seem like it was just going away and like it was starting to get dark. Which I understand Gideon's point with that. And yeah, it's sad because I feel like it's going to add to this false narrative in my eyes that Modern Survivor is soft. I don't think that it's soft. I think that they really dropped the ball with how they went about it tonight. You can't have Jeff saying, "Hey, we brought back this whole challenge and from a different time and this, that, and the other," and then
Music. They brought the music.
yeah,
back.
and the ultimate screw you. Yeah, both of you win because we got things to do. Because the tide's gone. It's like, okay, well then they've still been underwater for 2.5 hours. That's still a stressor on your body. One of them's going to eventually drop out.
Jay, to respond to you, we were including if Sammy also, yes, as Gannon wrote, this was also if Sammy won shot in the dark. This would that if Sammy won the shot in the dark, that means that all 7 players could have been safe, which I don't think has ever happened before. It's never happened before that everybody's been safe, but I don't even think it's ever happened before that there's been an opportunity for everybody to been safe until tonight. Which would have been cool, because then what does Jeff do, huh? Arm wrestle for elimination? Bracket, double M?
I feel like they would just do fire.
Yeah. Well, I think that the obvious reason, maybe hypothermia scares played a part, but I think the most obvious reason of why they ended it early was because they had to do tribal that night, and nowadays Survivor, there is no days off.
There's no extra days.
It's just every day is challenge, rewards, vote off, so on and so forth. So they had to get to it, but I mean,
which is just going to make more people be like, bring back the 39 days so we can have a chance to make them sit out in the nighttime, But
you know what he sounds like, right?
I did that accent on purpose, but it's like,
coach.
Yeah, I was totally somebody on that season of Heroes vs. Villains. No, but that's what I'm saying. It's just gonna make people be like, bring back the 39 days, which I will give them the point of, like, especially this episode with like Sammy being like, I'm reading my mom's letter, Jesse like crying about the letters, and like even all the loved ones' letters. The whole time I'm thinking like, well, gosh, people had to wait 2 weeks longer on the season before this. You should count yourself lucky, I'm like, how long have you been out here? 3 weeks? I think I could go 3 weeks without seeing my mom if I was on Survivor, but hey, it takes it out of you. I get it.
As another person that hates their family, I can agree. I'm sorry.
Should we, since Drew's here, should we all maybe give like a hot take on the season?
Well, gosh. I'll give a hot take of this episode. I think the people, as much as I was clowning Cassidy for being right next to the advantage, I think some of that was fake. I know reality TV now. I've now been on a reality TV show called American Idol, and knowing that how much of that crap is fake and how much they just go, hey, can we film some B-roll real quick of you just walking around here, like that's what we need, and like I think that's kind of what they did. I mean, I could very much see that being a Survivor production thing. I don't believe that many people walked by the advantage and didn't see it. I could be wrong, but I think those shots were fake.
That's a hot take.
Now
that's a hot take. Get it? Or
there we go. Yes. All right. Why does it keep going?
You gotta just turn it off.
What am I doing? Oh,
yeah. Just press pause.
Just the whole episode. It just okay.
Mission failed.
All right, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I think that you could be right. I don't agree or disagree. I think that you could be right, because another thing too is sometimes when these advantages are shown, like the camera is pointed directly at them. At some point, the players, if that was true, at some point, I feel like the players have to be like, okay, why is the camera pointed at this tree for the last 2 hours? Is there something there?
Just like, I know for a fact that some challenges are edited to look closer than they actually are. I know that happens for a fact. What would stop them from doing the same thing with the advantages? I think they were just trying to make people look stupid and fill time with the idle search or with the advantage search.
Remember Ricard's theory that he told us on?
I do remember Ricard's theory. He said that the advantage under the bench that Xander was on was not actually there. It was just edited later to make it look like it was there.
And I think I heard that one.
Yeah.
Fairly certain I heard that one.
Yeah. And then we asked Xander. He was like, I genuinely didn't see it. Like I looked all
So, which from a filmmaking standpoint, to impose that little of an object on the screen and make it look like it's there would be a pretty easy thing to do for me. And I'm like not that advanced in special effects.
You're not a CGI guy, yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So your hot take is that the game we've come to know and love is all fake and
Not all of it, but look,
rigged.
it's heightened reality. What I've learned from my unfortunate experience on American Idol, I can't tell you what happened, but it was unfortunate on American Idol. What I've learning is just so much of it is it's heightened reality. You know, it's sort of reality, but it's not entirely like true. You know,
right. Okay. Drew, do you have a?
Yeah, I mean, my hot take is I like this cast. I know that a lot of people
hot
are
take.
like, I like this cast. It's not, Nicaragua. It's not South Pacific. It's not Redemption Island. And everyone is, these people are speaking the hyperbole online. Where like this is the worst season, and this cast and all this is like, okay, you forget that these seasons actually exist, right? And that's the reason you forget these 6 seasons exist, is because the casts were not good. I think that coming out of this season, let's say we're all just a bunch of random jabronis that don't know anything about Survivor except for what we watch 43 minutes a week and then never pay attention to it again. I think that there are realistically 4 or 5 people from the season that we can remember as just the casualest of casual fans. And so I feel like if you're a casual fan and you can remember 4 to 5 people from the season, the cast must have been somewhat good, because the rest of us, the in the know jabronis, know all of them or most of them. So I enjoy this cast. I know that the season is kind of just all over the place. For me right now, it's probably like low 20s, like whatever, closer to 30. But it's not a horrible season by any means. I definitely think that it's the second best of the new age survivors, which isn't saying much, but it's the second. Gideon, are you saying third? You're not saying first, so you have to be saying third.
No.
It's not over yet, though.
It's not over yet, so I can't talk.
Over yet.
I can't talk because 41's ending sucked. So I don't know, but we'll see.
I liked 41's ending.
Well, by ending, do you mean like the winner, or do you mean like?
I like the winner.
I fall asleep just hearing her name mentioned. Let me tell you.
I like the winner. I don't like the
Why
winner.
do you hate women, Gideon?
I don't hate women. I said last podcast I was so glad Marianne won. Okay, don't hate me.
Here's my hot take of the season. I think that Carla has had the biggest rise and fall maybe of any player ever.
Fall?
Carla, yeah.
Her stock has fallen, dude. You
Her
can't.
stock, yeah, but when I think rise and fall, I think of even Ellie in this season had a great start and then just immediately she got Gablered. But
That's right.
yeah. That is a hot take. You're right. That is a hot take.
I will say, I think Carla played almost as perfect of a pre-merge as you could have. She came
Fantastic.
in, she in my opinion, in the perfect scenario, the way you want to approach a merge is to have an alliance that you are clearly the person in charge to like if you dissect it, but everybody else in the alliance doesn't realize that
And
you're
they just
in
view
charge.
you as their number one.
To me, that is, and to have multiple people. And coming into the merge, I would say Ryan, James, and Cassidy probably all considered her her number one. I think that I don't want to say she had played a perfect pre-merge, but if it wasn't perfect, it was pretty damn close to perfect. And then continuing on into the merge, it just seemed like she was just in this great power position. Like she was making moves, but they weren't like big flashy moves to put a target on her back. Moves that she can do to help her game and vote out the people that were threatening her, that she could bring up at the ends and make people realize, oh wow, she really was having a great game. And then for some reason she didn't save James. And I know I've been mentioning this like every podcast since, but Carla not saving James is the single worst decision, in my opinion, that any player has made this entire season. The fact that she didn't save James
all time, and I'm like, dude, what?
No.
JT is typing.
Okay, so I was quickly trying to go through my head of people that I feel like have had worse start and then crashing and burning. Off the top of my head, I would say Romeo from 42, where Romeo is probably, if not one, the second head honcho on his OG tribe. He's definitely looked at as, this threat. And we hit the merge, and then all of a sudden it's not the Romeo show anymore. In fact, it becomes a meme almost about how much we're not spending time with Romeo, and it's only just him eating rice out of the pot and everything like that. And then the other one would be Sarah Lacina and Cagayan, where she was in perfect spots in both her OG tribe and her swap tribe, and then immediately gets voted out at the merge because she thinks that she's queen shit at that point.
Those are my
Adam,
top
do you mean that by the fall off of Carla, it's not like, do you mean not the fall off isn't getting voted out? It's just like you're just slowly losing power with.
I've never seen someone's stock crash as hard as Carla's has in the last 3 episodes
without getting voted out.
Well, yeah, sure.
So, Adam, I guess I'll ask you then: if Carla wins, would you still think that?
No, but then my hot take would be I've never seen a rise, fall, and redemption arc as much
She
in
needs
the show's
one.
history. I mean, to me, like I said, Carla was number 1 in stock from the beginning of the game until the merge. And up until the James vote, I would say Jesse and Cody, that alliance, crept its way up, but I still always felt that Carla was in the best position of the game, because I feel like everybody saw that Cody and Jesse were in charge, whereas I feel like Carla was making decisions and leading this alliance of her, Ryan, Cassidy, and James. And Ryan was kind of like the member that was with them, but I don't think anyone ever wanted to take Ryan to the end, but he was still with them going into the merge. And then she just crashed so hard. I've never seen a stock fall. I've never seen someone be, in my opinion, number 1 highest stock for 6 episodes straight. And now I put Carla below Jesse, below Cody, maybe even below Cassidy, which if you would have told me 3-4 episodes ago that Cassidy's stock would be higher than Carla, I would have thought you were crazy. So that's my hot take of the season.
No, I actually agree at this point, but I think Carla has more potential than Cassidy. I think Cassidy is scared of any move. I don't think Carla is. I think Carla in order for her to win, she's got to make some move on somebody, and
she
it
has
might
a
be on
nice-
Cassidy.
she has
it
an
might
idol.
be she has an idol. She can make a move on Cassidy, like she said earlier, and take out her ally. I don't think that's the best route to go. I think the best move is to take out like a Cody or Jesse, somebody who's actually at the top. Cut off the head of the snake. Then you're all of a sudden sitting pretty as long as nobody takes you out moving forward. But yeah, I think that's what she's got to do, and if that happens, then I think she wins, and yeah, she redeems herself. But I mean, I wouldn't say I necessarily agree with your hot take at the moment. I'd really have to dive into the history of Survivor and look at every season and see how every person has risen and fallen in stock without getting voted out, because a blind side is obviously a fall in your stock because you're out of the freaking game. But yeah, Carla has definitely lost a lot of power.
Yeah. It just seems like she had such a strong game awareness, and it feels like her awareness of the game just, I don't know. It's like, is she not having as diverse of a conversations? Like, is she not talking? It just seems like she just had this great awareness as the game started. And it just seems like I just don't get why she wouldn't save James. I mean, yes, she would lose her idol. Although I still think it seemed like the edit was leading us to like Sammy told Carla that Owen and Noel were planning this move to get James out. But it seemed like Sammy was still leaving open the option to Carla that if she wanted to save James, that he would still stick with her. Because he said multiple times throughout the episode, "Oh, I really want to work with Carla." Of course, then he votes for her 2 episodes later. But Sammy, who knows
Sammy-
what's...
This is why I don't
like
want to
Sammy.
go. This is why I don't want to go on Survivor right now, because I feel like I'm too young and I'll play like Sammy. I just feel like you get antsy when you're 19, 20. Yeah. His
Yeah.
age showed.
Sammy was adorable. Gideon would be too.
I think I would play just as erratic as Sammy. I mean, I would be flip flopping. Nah, I want to wait. I'm gonna wait. I actually can't go on Survivor now because now I've been on Fox, but I have to wait a while, get out of my contract. But
How long?
so I don't know. I have to look at my contract. But we'll see.
Like more or less than 5 years.
I thought it was 5 years. That's what I thought it was.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I think I would probably play like maybe a mix of like Boston Rob, Richard Hatch, and Jeremy. What do you think?
Sure.
I'm
sure.
And
I'm
Jeremy,
sure, Adam.
And Jeremy.
I'm so sure you would do that.
With the fun of Tyson, like with the entertainment value of Tyson. Like I'm gonna be, okay. So it seems like it seems like at this point Jesse just has to make it to the end. I don't really know how Jesse could lose.
And why did nobody throw out his name this episode?
And that's the Jesse versus Gabler thing for me is I feel like they're not putting out Jesse's name because he has these relationships and they're not sussing in on the fact that, hey, this guy got to go, as compared to Gabler where it's like, we're not throwing his name out there because it's Gabler. Like that's what I feel like that's what it is. That's the difference between the two of them.
If Jesse wins without making like a big move, like he just kind of, I don't want to say coasts, but kind of like
He's made a big move, dude. Are you forgetting?
what I'm saying is
Forget the checklist.
What I'm saying is, if he wins without making a big move in the next 2 episodes, and just kind of stays on pace with where he's at, would
Which
you
he can.
consider Jesse a top 10 winner, top 10 newbie
No.
winner?
Yeah. Oh, top 10 newbie winner.
I feel like he could honestly be like 8 to 10 range.
Let me tell you, if he wins this season, continuing on the trend that he does, even if he doesn't make a big move, I think he's definitely the best of the new era.
Why do you hate women, Gideon?
I don't hate women. It's just the past two women winners haven't really done a lot.
What? Hey, hey. It came home last season. Always
It came home, and when it came home, I was very happy, and your video of you crying almost made me cry. But listen, man, I'm sorry, but
I actually would agree with you, though. I feel like I would agree with you. I do feel like if we were to get a Jesse win here, of the just newbie winners in general, I feel like it would be the best newbie win since potentially Wendell, depending on how people think about Wendell. I would say potentially Wendell from 36, and if they don't like Wendell, which is weird,
Oni,
Cagayan, yeah.
I mean, Cagayan,
For
Ken
newbies,
Stradlin,
yeah,
all those are obviously best newbies.
I would say Wendell or Tony, as far as like best OG win since. I would say Wendell or Tony, if he were to win. We've got a long ways to go, 2 weeks, but
yeah.
He's got to fend off. Somebody's gonna come for him, surely. I think he might have to make fire.
Unless he wins Final Four.
Yeah.
And right now he has a Jesse Cody shield. Not Jesse. He's got a Cody. Oh shoot.
Gabler?
No, not Gabler.
Owen.
Carla?
I feel like he's got, because he's Jesse, he's got people that have idols. So Carla, everyone knows Carla has an idol. Carla is now a shield. He has he has Cody, who everyone links to them, but I feel like he might have the better relationships with people than Jesse does. Why do I keep calling him Jesse? Cody.
Yeah.
So I feel like they will come after Cody first, and that's two people off, at the top that are in front of him if he plays his cards right. And then you can make a case. Oh yeah, Gabler has the old guy that was out here and persevered. He could potentially spend that to be a shield for him. I feel like he's covered at all bases where people still wouldn't come after him. I don't know. I feel like he makes it to the finale at least.
Yeah.
I say, darn, 98% chance he makes it to the final episode.
What do you think is the worst chance at making it to the final episode?
It's a toss-up for me because I could see Cody getting idled out. I could also see I think
Cassidy.
I think Cassidy probably, but that's a tough race to call just because the next time on Survivor is like throwing me a little bit because it's like, okay, why would Cody say this, or Cassidy figured out Carla was gunning for, so that might come to a head. It's like there's so many battles that might come to a head next episode, or we could just get what we've gotten for the past three and it's just an easy vote and it's like, okay, well, Owen's been on the out, so let's get him, sure. Or Cassidy's an easy vote, not really a threat, let's get her, whatever. Even though people are saying she's a threat, I don't know why. But
is there any path to victory for Owen or Gabler at this point?
I give them more of a shot than Cassidy. Hot take, but
I'm not going to say what I'm going to say. But I think that Owen still has a chance. I understand that we've got 2 weeks left and like win equity and all those buzzwords, but people have won these games in the end game. So all you really have to do is get to the end and just either out-talk someone or, expect someone to drop the ball or anything like that. And we could be sitting here saying that a Gabler or an Owen wins. And, I would be surprised if Gabler were to win. But, at this point, we really shouldn't be surprised if anyone wins because it really only matters at the, if you don't, it's Moneyball. If you don't win the last game of the season, no one gives a shit. So you can do all you want. You can make all these big moves. If you don't win at the end of the game, doesn't really matter. So I do feel like there is potential there, And I shouldn't be surprised, but I will be surprised if Gabler still does it. But if he does, you know what? Kudos to him.
Cool. So I guess we can close by asking, who would you guys give the MVP of the episode to? And if you had to put your money on one player to win, who would it be? And I can go first. I'll say Jesse is at this point who I would put my money on. As far as player of the episode, Sammy went home and Jesse was the one that wanted Sammy, right? Cody wanted Cassidy to go home.
I believe so.
Yeah.
It's been
So
like an hour.
I'll say Jesse for player of the week. If I had to pick.
Jesse's my answer for who I would put money on and who I would say is player of the week.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. I'll put my money on Carla. I'm still
Well,
gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna say Carla just because I feel like, I don't know. I think Jesse either loses in fire or people finally wise up to Jesse. And then MVP of the episode, I'll give it to Cody just because he found the advantage that everybody was looking so hard for, and then also guessed correctly on the challenge.
Would you guys have
Yeah.
picked Owen? Because
I would not have picked Owen. I would
wouldn't either.
have. I might have picked Gabler.
Yeah, after the whole Vietnam thing earlier, it's like, all right, this guy definitely knows how to.
This guy's been in the trenches. No, first out.
He has
First out on one swell.
Yeah.
But
I was watching at a bar, and my friends are like, "Oh, is Owen like the challenge beast for the season?" And I'm like, "No, I don't know actually why he picked him, but he did." So
yeah,
Maybe Owen's like a great swimmer, and we just didn't know about that. Like he could hold his
I mean,
breath long underwater.
Cody would have bet on himself if he was given the option.
Well, good thing he didn't. But okay, cool. Were you guys watching the finale?
New York
Home.
City.
Is there a watch party?
Yeah, there will be. I'll give you the details after we go off the air. I was in Boston for that one as well.
When is the
Oh, nice.
finale? I might be.
2
I might
weeks.
still be here. I will be here. Oh, the 14th. I'll be here.
I'll be here as well.
Okay. I don't go home that. Okay. Cool.
All right. Well, Drew, thanks again for joining us. Always a pleasure. Guys, like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you don't, then I hope you have terrible nightmares and you wake up screaming and sweating. And